Hello friends from Emmanuel, it's Wednesday and I'm glad to be with you again for a time for youth devotion. We're going to start with a prayer today called a map prayer. To do a map prayer, I invite you to grab your phone and pull up a map of anywhere. Any place you want to find a map of Disneyland, a map of a state, a map of Wisconsin, a map of the town that you live in. Pull up that map and take a look at it. Notice the paths, the roads, the twists and turns. Maybe there's a body of water with a bridge, or you notice some mountains and valleys and things like that. Think about how that map can kind of relate to your life, how there are twists and turns and forks in the road, decisions to be made. There are mountains and valleys, there are bridges to cross. Take a moment and take that map in a little bit and think about how it relates to your life. Then take a moment in prayer with God and ask Him to help guide you through all of those twists and turns in your life. I invite you to do that prayer activity. Pause the video, take some time in prayer, and then you can press play and we'll continue with our devotion. Have you ever heard someone talk about making a big decision and just having a feeling that they were making the right choice, or feeling like they had this sixth sense about something or a premonition about something that was going to happen? Sometimes they talk about that sixth sense or that feeling, but I think that's often the Holy Spirit. We just don't quite recognize its presence in our lives. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, and I'm going to read to you from Acts 16, verses 4 through 10. In this passage that I'm going to read, Paul and Silas are on a mission, and they're being guided along the way by the Holy Spirit. As Paul and the others went from city to city, they told the followers what the apostles and leaders in Jerusalem had decided, and they urged them to follow these instructions. The churches became stronger in their faith, and each day more people put their faith in the Lord. Paul and his friends went through Phrygia and Galatia, but the Holy Spirit would not let them preach in Asia. After they arrived in Mysia, they tried to go to Bithynia, but the Spirit of Jesus would not let them. So they went on through Mysia until they came to Troas. During the night, Paul had a vision of someone from Macedonia who was standing there and begging him, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." After Paul had seen the vision, he began looking for a way to go to Macedonia. We were sure that God had called us to preach the good news there. So we hear about Paul and Silas really relying on the Holy Spirit to guide them in their mission. And in the Bible, there are lots of examples of Jesus relying on the Holy Spirit to guide him through the wilderness. The Holy Spirit calling on him to, while he was preaching and performing miracles. Have you ever tried to follow a leader whose directions were kind of unclear? Some of you may be experiencing that right now with some schoolwork. Your teacher might send you a video lesson or email you an assignment, and you're still not sure how to tackle and get through that work. And your teacher's not standing right next to you to give you an immediate answer and help you. Some people feel that way about God. Just what does He want from me? What am I supposed to do, and how will I know just what to do? That's where the Holy Spirit can come in. The Holy Spirit is always there. It kind of reminds me, I was reading today a relationship that it's kind of like your shadow. Your shadow is always there. You probably just don't take the time to notice. Well, the Holy Spirit is always there too. But you have to take time to notice. So instead of just throwing those prayers up and thinking you're going to get an immediate response, you have to take time to listen. You have to have a two-way relationship with God. That's what He wants from us. So this week, I want you to take time when you're facing a difficult decision or a challenge, or you're not sure just what to do. Take the time to pray, but then be patient and take the time to listen and be aware of the presence of the Holy Spirit around you, and see if you can feel that, because it's not just a hunch and it's not just a sixth sense. Those times when you can feel those nudges pushing you in the right direction or helping you to decide something, it might be the Holy Spirit.